Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Humans are a complex creature and have different behavior patterns. They cannot live in isolation. You have to interact with other beings in your daily affair. You make contact with both like-minded and opposite people. No one is perfect, and all lack some shortcomings. When you find some fault in others, you can learn from them. We often get irritated by some speech or action of other people. This comes into your unconscious and you try to refrain from doing the same. You need to learn coexistence and harmony. Some people are very bold and they call spade a spade. Instead of reacting to all the bullshit which makes you uneasy, try to better and improve yourself, as it will make the best of you. You are not responsible for bringing change to the whole world. Just improve yourself and you will have the most noble pleasure of understanding yourself. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Carl Jung is the infamous Swiss psychiatrist who theorized human unconscious and gave theory of personality. In this particular quote, Jung talks about self-awareness and conscious. According to Jung, human psyche contains three elements: the ego, the personal unconscious, and the collective unconscious. You can do wonders only if you know yourself. You must work on yourself to remain ahead of others. Know your strengths and work on your weaknesses. Once you do that, you will become unstoppable. People who get inspired by the external environment and never take out time for insight often collapse. Listen to your intuition and you will never fear from any difficulty. You have got huge strength inside you to take you beyond limits. Everyone is blessed in some way. There is just need to recognize and polish your abilities. If you do that, you will be among high achievers. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. We are often misled by the facts and figures. As it is rightly said, we learn from history that we do not learn from history. We believe what we are told without any analysis. This is a kind of false conscious or unconscious. You need to uncover the unconscious in order to take full benefits of your inner talents. Without self-recognition, you cannot do anything properly. You'll fail at whatever you do in your life. Incompetent lot often blame everything to the fate. Don't include yourselves among those who are full of excuses. You are the master of your fate, and you can mold it according to your choice. Once you become enlightened and know your power, you will overcome all the hurdles which come in your way to prosperity. If you get stuck in the social values and norms, you will end up losing yourself. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. We are born free and almost have equal talents. You chalk out your own destiny. You decide your goals and use all means in your capacity to execute them. Whatsoever you do in your life, do it with heart. You only have one life, and you should not have any regrets when you die. Tough situations build stronger people. All the billionaires we see today were not born with a golden spoon. They choose a path and then prove themselves by doing what they were expert at. People will always oppose you when you dream big. There will always be hurdles, and even your near and dear ones may abandon you. But you have to believe in yourself and prove them wrong by your hard work and perseverance. People admire success stories. They hardly care about the struggle behind it, as there is a relevant connotation. Success is like pregnancy. Everyone congratulates you, but nobody knows how many times you are fucked to achieve it. You're what you do, not what you say you'll do. You're judged by your actions, not words. What you do in your life matters the most. What you plan to do is secondary. Some people are men of words and not actions. They say something and act opposite. This is hypocrisy and needs to be avoided. If you want to move ahead in your life, then you must act instead of speaking. People who are serious and concerned about their goals, they practically execute them and stand among the victorians. If you keep on delaying and wasting your time and energy, you will despise yourself at the end of the day. Do it today, as tomorrow does not exist. Even if it does, nobody has seen it. Everyone can plan and daydream. Hardly few are able to achieve it. It's entirely up to us whether we want to be men of words or men of actions. Former will bring you no honor, while the latter will make you fly and shine. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate. The things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. Loneliness is not necessarily absence of the people around you. It's your inability to communicate with people present around you. You feel lonely when you are unable to open your heart to others. Deep inside, you know nobody will truly understand you. For this reason, you do not interact with people present with you. Loneliness is a great blessing in many ways. It gives you an opportunity to entirely focus on yourself and improve. Sometimes it is necessary to be lonely to enjoy and cherish nature. Loneliness may also be related to holding different views from the rest of the people. You believe in something which others find odd. For you, it's loneliness, because no one perceives things the way you do. You can remove loneliness from your life if you surround yourself with people who are like-minded and their presence makes you happy. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of others. Humans own demons and fears. We are unable to cope with such horrible situations at times. The best course is to identify them and face whatever lets you down. Once you know yourself and identify your talents, then you can deal with any tough and terrible situation. Aristotle believed 90% of people never achieve their goals in life. The reason is they are never consistent and don't develop good habits. Life requires consistency in order to be a content one. Introspection is a tool through which you can deal with any danger. We have to build ourselves strong to deal with threats. Believe your intuitions and go extra mile in your struggle. It's a privilege for you if you become what you dreamt. Everyone dreams, but hardly lucky ones attain them. Those are the ones who faced and overcame their fears and ultimately stood victorious. Know the art of staying positive in every situation, and you will never ever go astray. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. Addiction is defined as doing something repeatedly and compulsively. Addiction of any sort is buzz and harmful for your health. There are many kinds of addiction, like narcotic addict, alcohol addict, or idealism addicts. Many factors contribute to make someone addict. Regardless of your morality and norms, certain other elements like your genes, your environment, and age factor play an important part. If you become addicted to drugs, it will spoil your health and create a lot more complications. Above all, it's a social taboo. Nobody likes to hang out with druggies and addicts. Society never accepts such fringe elements with them. It's a problem not for yourself, but people around you too. People who love you will also suffer if you become addicted to drugs. Instead of social boycott of such people, they should be given a healing touch. Addicts are in need of proper care and a rehabilitating process. There are situations which force young people into addicts, and they should be supported in their fight with drugs and all sort of addiction. There is another common addiction which we call perfection or idealism. Idealism is related to forming ideals and living under their influence for the rest of your life. Idealists try to make everything perfect. In doing so, they spend their whole lives and still remain unsatisfied. We need to remind ourselves that certain things are not under our control, and we must let go of such things. What we can do is to try our best and leave the rest. Outcome may not always be according to our sweet will, but there will always be room for improvement. Remember, you can always do better. Thoroughly unprepared, we take the step into the afternoon of life. Worse still, we take this step with the false presupposition that our truths and our ideals will serve us as hitherto. But we cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning will be little in the evening, and what in the morning was true, in the evening will have become a lie. Art is a kind of innate drive that seizes a human being and makes him its instrument. To perform this difficult office, it is sometimes necessary for him to sacrifice happiness and everything that makes life worth living for the ordinary human being. I shall not commit the fashionable stupidity regarding everything I cannot explain as a fraud. I am astonished, disappointed, pleased with myself. I am distressed, depressed, rapturous. I am all these things at once, and cannot add up the sum. I am incapable of determining ultimate worth or worthlessness. I have no judgment about myself and my life. There is nothing I am quite sure about. I have no definite convictions, not about anything, really. I know only that I was born and exist. And it seems to me that I have been carried along. I exist on the foundation or something I did not know. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Find out what a person fears most, and that is where he will develop next. Words are animals, alive with a will of their own. Every mother contains her daughter in herself, and every daughter her mother. And every mother extends backwards into her mother and forwards into her daughter. Sometimes you have to do something unforgivable just to be able to go on living. Midlife is the time to let go of an over-dominant ego and to contemplate the deeper significance of human existence. If the path before you is clear, you are probably on someone else. Without this playing with fantasy, no creative work has ever yet come to birth. The debt we owe to the play of the imagination is incalculable. The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes. What if I should discover that the poorest of the beggars and the most impudent of offenders are all within me, and that I stand in need of the alms of my own kindness, that I, myself, am the enemy who must be loved? What then? When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them, as far as we can discern. The sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. In each of us there is another whom we did not know. Leader is always led. My whole being was seeking for something still unknown, which might confer meaning upon the banality of life. With a truly tragic delusion, Carl Jung noted, these theologians fail to see that it is not a matter of proving the existence of the light, but of blind people who did not know that their eyes could see. It is high time we realize that it is pointless to praise the light and preach it if nobody can see it. It is much more necessary to teach people the art of seeing. Nobody, as long as he moves among the chaotic currents of life, is without trouble. We should know what our convictions are and stand for them. Upon one's own philosophy, conscious or unconscious, depends one's ultimate interpretation of facts. Therefore, it is wise to be as clear as possible about one's subjective principles. As the man is, so will be his ultimate truth. Real liberation comes not from glossing over or repressing painful states of feeling, but only from experiencing them to the full. I am an orphan, alone, nevertheless I am found everywhere. I am one, but opposed to myself. I am both a youth and an old man at the same time. I have known neither father nor mother, because I have had to be fetched out of the deep like a fish, or fell like a white stone from heaven. In the woods and mountains I roam, but I am hidden in the innermost soul of man. I am mortal for everyone, yet I am not touched by the cycle of eons. The greatest and most important problems of life are all in a certain sense insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. This outgrowing, as I formerly called it, on further experience was seen to consist in a new level of consciousness. Some higher or wider interest arose on the person's horizon, and through this widening of view, the insoluble problem lost its urgency. It was not solved logically in its own terms, but faded out when confronted with a new and stronger life tendency. Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but as you touch a human soul, be just another human soul. Intuition is perception via the unconscious. Every individual needs revolution, interdivision, overthrow of the existing order, and renewal, but not by forcing them upon his neighbors under the hypocritical cloak of Christian love, or the sense of social responsibility, or any of the other beautiful euphemisms for unconscious surges to personal power. I indignantly answered, "Do you call light what we men call the worst darkness? Do you call it day-night?" To this my soul spoke a word that roused my anger. My light is not of this world. I cried, I know of no other world. The soul answered, should it not exist because you know nothing of it? His retreat into himself is not a final renunciation of the world, but a search for quietude, where alone it is possible for him to make his contribution to the life of the community. In each of us there is another whom we do not know. We often dream about people from whom we receive a letter by the next post. I have ascertained on several occasions that at the moment when the dream occurred, the letter was already lying in the post office of the addressee. For two personalities to meet is like mixing two chemical substances. If there is any combination at all, both are transformed. Neurosis is the suffering of a soul which has not discovered its meaning. A particularly beautiful woman is a source of terror. As a rule, a beautiful woman is a terrible disappointment. Leonardo da Vinci wrote in his notebooks, "It should not be hard for you to stop sometimes and look into the stains of walls, or ashes of a fire, or clouds, or mud, or like places in which you may find really marvelous ideas. The achievement of psychological maturity is an individual task, and so is increasingly difficult today. When man's individuality is threatened by widespread conformity, one who looks outside dreams, one who looks inside awakens. My speech is imperfect, not because I want to shine with words, but out of the impossibility of finding those words. I speak in images. With nothing else can I express the words from the depths. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The creative mind plays with the object it loves. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. An old alchemist gave the following consolation to one of his disciples: no matter how isolated you are and how lonely you feel, if you do your work truly and conscientiously, unknown friends will come and seek you. Nature has no use for the plea that one did not know. What we do not make conscious emerges later as fate. Man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. But if you have nothing at all to create, then perhaps you create yourself.